everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Kim and today I want to show you my family dashboard, my Great Hall dashboard in Notion. Last week I showed you my personal dashboard, which was my common room, and this time it's time for the Great Hall, for the family dashboard. As with the other dashboard, most of the stuff I have here, the names are Harry Potter themed, which is because I really like the freedom it gives me that I do not have a projects database or an area database or things like that, where I always felt very unsure whether something would fit in a database or not, or I knew what I wanted in which database, but it still irked me if I didn't think the name would fit perfectly, especially for something like projects. I had a lot of things in there I wouldn't technically consider projects, but I didn't know another name, or I couldn't think of anything that would fit better, so I kept the name projects, but I'd always in the back of my mind it irked me because it didn't really fit. So with the Harry Potter names, it fits. It doesn't matter because I can do everything in there I want. I can put everything in there I want, and I don't need to worry whether the name is completely correct or not, because it's not a real name, it's a fantasy name. And that really helped me, and that's why everything here is Harry Potter themed. So let's get into the setup. So we start with a picture of the Great Hall and the daily profit again, which I have the daily profit in my personal dashboard as well. In my personal dashboard, those are the daily pages. Here it's a little different. First thing I have here is the dinner menu, which is another relation to my daily pages database, except this time it's shown in a Kanban view. And for the properties, I've only shown the relation to the recipe database, which are the recipes I plan to make for the day. The filter is actually not current, so it shows from sometime in February, but that doesn't matter. It's the principle that counts, so you can see how I use the database. Not that you can see what I planned to make for this week. Not that that's a secret, but you know what I mean. So here you can just see those are the days of the week in German. So that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and so on. And then just we have the daily page with what I plan to make for for dinner that week, or lunch on the weekends. It might be lunch, but it doesn't matter. That's the way we can see it. So I know what I planned, but if my husband wants to know, he can just go in here and see the Great Hall, and he can see everything that I plan to make for the week. Then we have the homework database, which is my tasks and events database, if you remember. Again, this one isn't really up to date or anything. It actually just shows a release date, which isn't even correct, I realized. I was looking forward to the book, and then I saw on Kindle Unlimited that the release date was pushed, or I just put it down wrong, whatever. But everything that shows up here would usually be tagged with family, so it shows up here. Other things that are more important for me only, which should be the case for release dates, but in this case I didn't do it, should be tagged with me rather than with family, so it would show up in my personal dashboard. Then again we have the room of requirement, which is my anything and everything, notes and ideas, whatever doesn't fit anywhere else database. So this is filtered to show where area is empty, or visiting world in my case is empty. So whenever something happens, usually in this setting it would be if I am maybe I'm in a phone call with like insurance company or a doctor or whatever, anything that's more like home and family related, and I want to take notes, then I would do it here, and then I can take the note, put in the date, and relate it to the area. So maybe the infirmary, which is my health area, or my finances area, anything like that. And once I've put the area in, it disappears from here and is only shown in the area database, because if I've taken note or anything, it doesn't usually need to be here. That's also a way I can use it as an inbox if there's anything other than tasks, because tasks would go in the homework database. Anything else that I just need to get down, I can put it in here. Don't worry about it, because as long as I don't go through and put an area in here, it's still here. So that's a good way to use it as an inbox. The next one are classes which are kind of projects. So this database was called projects database before, but not all the things in here are what you would usually classify as projects, which is one of the reasons why I was so happy with my change to Harry Potter themed names, because I don't need to have, like, in the back of my mind always being annoyed if something doesn't have the right name. So this right now is filtered to only show the projects that aren't active anymore, completed projects, because the other one are quite personal. So you can see my older projects here, or projects. One would be, for example, Christmas 2020, where I just had everything that I needed for Christmas. There were tasks related, for example, at the beginning of November to start thinking about Christmas presents, start thinking about an advent calendar, and things like that. And then later on, like, where would we spend Christmas? Do we have to bring something? Do we have to prepare something? All kinds of things like that. Then osteopath, I'm not sure if that's the same name in English. It's something like physical therapy. We went there for my son, and it was like for a certain time, and everything related to that I have in here. Then me and my husband, we tried to lose weight over like fall winter, but we stopped with the idea we had. So it's completed even though it's still winter. Then my husband was unemployed for a while, so we had a project for him to find new work, which was a project. We did a new spend challenge. Also, I have my pregnancy here as a project, which, as you can tell, not all of these things are technically projects. Hence my happiness at the different names. And here on the left side, we have Wizard and Witches, which is basically my family, me, my husband, and my son, as well as our cats. And each of us has a dashboard. Those dashboards aren't really set up yet. I'm, as I said in the last video, still in the process of like putting all the information in, because of a lot of information I want to have in here is information I've accumulated over the years, which I have in paper form or just somewhere in the back of my memory, and that's why I want to put all the things in here, but they're not there yet, so I can't show this to you. But what I plan to have for those dashboards is all the kind of things I have here in my areas, for example, like everything health related, everything that's specifically related to one of us is put in these dashboards. So if there is something, if for example I'm going to a doctor's visit and the doctor asks something about like my history with an illness or something, or for my son or anything, I can just check the dashboard and I have everything there in one glance. Also, for example, employment history or anything for me or my husband would be here. Everything we might need is related to one of us would be in those dashboards. Or the vaccination history for my husband, for our cats, like our cats' birthdays, things like that, or when we got our cats. I'm not sure about their actual birthdays, but all those kinds of information is in our personal dashboard, so to speak. They're not like my personal common room dashboard where I'm in every day, where I actually do things. Those are strictly for information. So if my husband decides he wants to be more active in Notion instead of just sometimes glancing at this dashboard and wants his own dashboard, it wouldn't be this one. It would be another one. This is just for information where we can look things up. Then underneath here, I have Witch Weekly, Potion Masters Monthly, and the School Year, which are my weekly, monthly, or yearly dashboards. So, help! Databases. There are my weekly, monthly, or yearly databases. I only have one for each. With my daily databases, if you remember from my last video, I have one for family, one for me, and one for my son. Here I only have one which encompasses all the things, because for my daily pages I have more different things. Like I have a lot of habits I track for myself, and for example, that's no point in having one database with a billion properties, which only some are important for this person and some are important for this person. So for the daily databases I have different ones, but the weekly things, there aren't as many habits as I track, or most of them are related to the household, so it's just one database, the weekly one. the monthly one, so they're all in a gallery view here. The March one doesn't have a picture yet. And the school year, which there's only a 2020 and 2021 in there, because I only started using Notion in 2020, so last year, I think around June or something. And it took me a month or two to really figure out how I wanted to use it. And then my son was born sometime in there, so I think it only really starts with September of 2020 or something like that. But that's how I have everything set up. Then down here we get to the Wizarding World, which again are my areas or pillars or sub dashboards, however you want to call it. And I have Magical Preschool, which is basically everything to do with my son, like not in the health way, because I have a health one, but like everything. If I have anything important I want to note about his education or raising him, or maybe information later when he actually goes to preschool or school, like that school information would go in here, things like that. Then we have the kitchens, which you already saw in my very first video on this channel, which is my meal planning dashboard. I can show this to you quickly again, where I have again my daily pages, my recipes, and my shopping list. Then we have the infirmary, which is my health dashboard, health related things, Gringotts, which are finances, Hogwarts, which is the household, so like cleaning routines or when was the last time certain things were serviced within the home, and the ministry, which is work. So this as well has work history and things like that, but this is for me and my husband, and for our dashboards there would only be, like in my husband's dashboard would be only what's important for him, and in my dashboard what's important for me. And that's basically everything there is to my Great Hall setup. And with this in the common room, you've basically seen all the main things in my Notion system. I will over time show you how I do different things, and I will show you around more of the dashboards once I've set them up and have filters in there to filter out anything that's too private. But for the most part, this is what my Notion is set up or consists of. And yeah, I hope you like this video. I would love if you leave me a comment. Maybe tell me how you use Notion, if there's something you think you'll take over into your system or something you would do differently. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up or subscribe. I would be really happy, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!